we are moving to second session. Our speaker is Dr. S. Veeramani. Dr. S. Veeramani is a scholar, research advisor, and a prolific writer. He did his BA, MA, and MPhil in English language and literature in St. Joseph's College, Tiruchirappalli. He obtained a PhD degree in postmodernism from Bharatidasan University, Tiruchirappalli. His doctoral thesis on postmodernism was well received and appreciated. He has published more than 20 research articles in international indexed with good impact factor journals. He is a member in international professional and academic bodies. He is also one of the editorial board members and reviewers in the International Journals of English Literature and Humanities. He is a columnist in Tamil monthly magazine Sumai Tangi. Besides, he received the Best Research Paper Publisher Award from St. Joseph College Management in 2015. He is a resource person to various colleges to train students in the field of English communication and soft skills. He is a voracious reader. He gained 10 years of teaching experience in his alma mater. At present, he is an assistant professor of English in Arinyar Anna Government Arts College, Namakkal. We are very glad to have you, sir. This session is yours.
Uh, Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful introduction about me. Um, First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for having given this one more opportunity to share a few points about the um, research design and how the research design can be utilized in the literary forum as well as in the science forum. Yeah, I would like to present my screen. Is my screen visible to you, sir?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
okay, okay. Yeah, this is the thing. Actually, today's scenario, why do we do the research? First question is, why do you do the research? Some people can say that I do my research for getting a very good job. So some people say that I want to teach in colleges, in universities, and in research institutions. That's why I would like to continue my PhD or any other research and so on. But what I tell you, it is a very great contribution to the society, especially the countries like developing country and the underdeveloped country. The researchers must do their research, must implement their own new innovative ideas and concepts to complete their research program to develop the nation as well as to contribute their knowledge in the medicine field, in literary field, in especially in social sciences, because in engineering field and in some other science fields there are much more research activities are taking place. But whereas in social sciences, we could not find the number of researchers and the number of qualitative researchers in these particular sciences like social sciences. So we have to do the exact research. At the same time, in the previous session, Sarita, I think so. Sarita, she asked, is there Sarita here? Is she attending the webinar right now, my session?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. She asked what are the things to do and what are the things not to do in the research, especially she belongs to the Department of English. That is, I think she is doing her research in literature. So what I tell you in this particular forum, it's very, very important and it is a very common thing is nowadays all the colleges and universities and the research institutions, they are fully focusing only on the plagiarism. So when the researcher has more number of plagiarism and uh, what should I say, some um, infringement act, okay, the copyright infringement act in their research, it is, the thesis is null and void. So the thesis is rejected at any moment. So that's why what I tell you, only one suggestion is, you eliminate much more quotations. You can read so many authors or so many references from web and from other book materials, okay, other materials. Nowadays we can use the social media for your PhD thesis and for the references. Okay, in this case what I tell you, you need to omit number of quotations from taking one source and putting in your thesis, and again you are taking the source from somewhere else and you are putting in your thesis. It's your thesis becomes yeah, a compendium of or a collection of quotations. Even if you complete, even if you do your research on a particular novelist, that novelist might have written at least more than 10 novels or 15 novels and so on. But you may take 4 novels or 5 novels. Within the 5 or 4 novels, you need to give only a few, what would I say, the quotations. That will be very, very easy to eliminate the plagiarism. Whether we do the research in a proper way or not, it doesn't matter at all in the present day scenario. But we are evaluated by a technology. Our thesis is evaluated by non-human technology, that is AI, artificial intelligence. So the plagiarism checking will check only the similarities, the how many words are taken from this source and how many sentences are taken from that source, like that. So it says only the similarities, but it will not say that it is the original words and it is a kind of a original thesis by you and so on. But we people totally believe that the software called Turnitin and Urkund, and you find Iconpicate and a number of other what should I say, the plagiarism checkers. But I don't believe in these plagiarism checkers, because they will not check the plagiarism, but they check only the similarities. It will find out, it's a kind of a searching engine like Google, no? Like you Google and other search engine. It will find the words and the similarities and say that the similarity index will be 6% and 7%, sometimes 30 or 40 and 50, even 100, like that. But what I tell you is, a human mind is needed to identify whether this particular work is plagiarized or not. But it is very, very difficult in today's scenario. But I don't believe in that plagiarism tools and so on. So I request the researchers to eliminate the more number of quotations. Even if you want to do the, if you want to give the specific quotations which are very, very relevant to your thesis statement or hypothetical statements, you can use in a what would I say, restricted okay, in a restricted manner only you have to do. This is the
Sir,
first
may I
thing
ask
I
a
would like
question,
to.
sir? Hello,
Yes,
sir. May
yes,
I ask a question, sir?
yeah,
Sir,
definitely.
how to find the data manipulation in research, sir? Plagiarism we can check by similarities, but how to find out the data
Yeah,
manipulation in research?
for data manipulation, you can go for that plagiarism tool and all, but it will not say that this is the final plagiarism result and the final plagiarism report. We cannot
No, sir,
say that.
I have seen somebody is completely making the data by their own. They are not even collecting the data. Okay,
Okay.
so completely
They do, they
they
on
are
their
not,
own.
yeah, they are putting their own and manipulating the entire graphs, tables, whatever they're making. So that thing, how can I find that?
Yeah, that's why I tell you that the plagiarism tool will not find out the manipulation. Say, for example, it is Shakespeare has written 34, 37, 154 sonnets. Okay. 154 sonnets were written by Shakespeare. But if you write like this, if you paraphrase like this, or if you change the subject and object and adverb and so on, but the plagiarism tool will not find out that this is plagiarized idea and something like that. But the human mind is needed to find out the idea. The expert is needed. The expert, in the sense, it is not that a person who has 10 years of teaching experience or 5 years of teaching experience, but they will not find out the real plagiarism. But the learned professors, the learned experts must be the what should I say, a person who can find out the plagiarism and so on. But data manipulation, it's very difficult to find out. It's very difficult to find out that data manipulation and so
That's why
on.
if
But
if we find out this data manipulation, then only the research is the quality will come. No? Then only development will come. Otherwise, all will be fraud only, sir.
yeah, definitely, my dear, I'll tell you, data manipulation that has to be eliminated. There is no doubt in this. Data manipulation should be eliminated. But the plagiarism tool will not find out the data manipulation, That's the point I would
Yes,
like to
sir.
tell you.
That's why I want to know, sir. Is there any techniques or tools to find out that
Yeah,
things?
no technique is available for identifying the data manipulation. There is no developed technique is available across the globe. I tell you, that's why I told you it will be acting as a kind of a search engine. The plagiarism tools will act as a search engine. It will search the similarities from various sources.
Typing and particularly prefers it to open and paper.
At the same time, what I tell you is some words are taken from the journals, some words are taken from the internet or any other website, okay, and then PDF formats and so on. But the people are very, very clever, very, very clever. They do some gimmicks. They change the subject and the verb and object and the tenses exclusively. They change the tenses and they put it in Urkun software or Turnitin software. Finally, they have 0%. But the entire thesis or entire research work is copied from other sources. They involve in Copyright Infringement Act, but the tool says 0%. The tool says 1%. Everybody is accepting that your thesis is very good. It is written by your own, like that. But I tell you, the tools are not enough. But I won't say that tools are not, but tools are not enough to identify the plagiarism. So that's why I tell you, human mind needs to evaluate each and every statements, each and every sentences. That's why in earlier PhDs, they used to read between lines. They will underline everything. Finally they give the reports to the university. So that kind of a PhD was qualitative. But in today's scenario, when technology is there, say for example, there is a tool called Quillbot and a paraphrase tool. Okay, if you put one paragraph, automatically it will change and it will give you like what should I say, flourished language. So people think that what a beautiful language it gives us, it helps us. Then they copy from the Quillbot, which is modified, which is paraphrased, and then they paste it on their PhD thesis or MPhil research or journal papers and so on. So there is no proper, a tool is available to identify the data manipulation. But human brain needs to identify this, but it is very difficult because number of researchers, they are taking their research today. In a university, you find hundreds of research people are doing their research in an academic year. So that is very difficult. Yes, next, any other question that you would like to ask? It may be a kind of interactive session.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Sir, actually, when we are reading a paper, so
yes.
there is some modeling, and in the modeling, there is complex econometric analysis.
Okay.
How can we understand that
Yeah,
analysis?
with complex trigonometry analysis, when coming to the mathematics and all, we cannot say that this is plagiarism because the equation should be the same. Okay, the equation should
No,
be the same.
I'm trying to ask it. I'm trying to ask a little bit different
Yes,
question.
again, you can ask me.
How can we, some models are very difficult to understand, and we have to go through a lot of references to understand them completely, so that's very time consuming at times. How can we understand those econometric models in a better way, and how can we use them for our own purpose if we are writing a paper?
Yeah, for this and all, actually, it is very simple. It is not a very Herculean task to write the original paper, but you can read so many resources, so many sources, and you have your own idea. I'll tell you today, every person, every researcher will have at least a spark of his own idea, a pinch of his own idea. So you use that pinch of your own idea or spark of your own idea, an iota of your own idea, which is related to the source which you are doing, which you are referencing, which you are taking the ideas and so on. And then you can put it in your own language. Everybody has his or her own language style. So you have to put it in your own style. And if your idea, if that idea is not yours, just give the reference at the, at the last of the paper, research paper. But if your idea is your own, you need not to give any kind of reference because it is your own idea. So that's why I tell you that you, you say, for example, uh, you can read one idea from one resource, but the same idea is in your mind. Consciously or unconsciously, you can use the same idea, but already that idea was used by somebody else in his or her own thesis, or in a journal paper, or else in any other mode of writing. They would have got the copyright also. So in this case, you need to do the pilot study. That is why we call that the, what should I say, the preliminary work. Okay, the review of literature. So when you do the review of literature, you come to know that in which way we have to differ from others, in what way we have to differ from others. All these things you come to know when you do the review of literature in a vast way. And then you have to give only a few hypothetical statements. You need not to give more than 3 or 4 hypothetical statements. Only 3 hypothetical statements are enough. In any book in the world, I'll tell you, in the world, in any book, there is no restriction for the hypothetical statements. There is no proper references for the hypothetical statements. It may be one statement, it may be 2 statements, or it may be 5 statements. But the more you give your hypothetical statements, the more problematic study you have. That is why I tell you, we have conceived idea, and then 3 hypothetical statements can be used, or 4 hypothetical statements can be used in your thesis. Then you can do your own research. It will come like your own original fruit. This is what I would like to tell you. Yes. Are you satisfied with my answer?
Somewhat, sir, not completely, but somewhat.
Not completely, not completely. If you're not satisfied, again, you can ask one more question, and along with any kind of reference and so on, definitely I will give you the what should I say, the points which you are really satisfied.
Sir, basically the thing is that the econometrics which we study as a
Which
course
major do you belong to? Which major do you belong to?
sir, economics.
Economics.
Yes, sir.
Okay, economics. Okay.
Sir, actually the econometrics which we study, like if we study the Gujarati book,
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah. Actually, only the economic theory is put in the matrix. Okay.
yeah, and the econometrics which is used in the research papers, they are
Yeah.
very different. Like the
I mean, in South Indian, people, they read economics as a theoretical one. But especially in the North Indian people, they study economics as econometrics because they deal everything. Say, for example, Adam Smith ideology and the laissez-faire and the division of labor. Everything is put in the metrics. Okay, everything is put in the metrics. This is what you are coming to say.
yeah, I'm saying how can we understand the econometrics analysis in a better way? Like that is sometimes very complex, and those models which the authors have used, they are sometimes very complex. They are not. We are not able to understand them. How can we understand them in a better way?
Yeah, that belongs to the theory which you are taking, and the problem statement which you are taking for your thesis. Okay, the problem, how the problem is used in the proper econometrics, it will be very simple, because you need to design your research. You need to do the methodology along with your research supervisor. You are going to do the research. So in this way, which theory is going to be applied in your econometrics or economics, that can be used in the metrical way, that metrical way can be very easy for you. That kind of easier thing you can select. There are number of econometrics, I tell you that there are number of things, econometrics and so on, but at this particular juncture, um, you need to analyze that which econometric thing is easy to us for doing the research program. But I tell you, when you go in for econometrics, it will be a kind of a sum. It will be kind of a mathematical calculation. Okay, when you do the mathematical calculation, you need to be very, very careful in selecting the equation, like E is equal to mc squared. Okay, so you need to be very, very careful in equation, how that equation can be used in your problem statement. You just do that kind of a pilot study. If the pilot study is very admissible to you, you can make use of that. So this is the point. It is very simple. I tell you that you need to choose and select the econometric theory or econometric equation in a proper way. Then you put it in the theory which you are going to do. Say, for example, economics, you find a number of things. The economics in social media, the economics in science, the economics in what should I say, YouTube revenues, econometrics in Facebook revenues, and everything. There are a number of things, but you need to select the equation which is very easy for you. Then only you will find that the econometric research is very, very easy for you. Yes. Are you there?
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I got an idea now.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anything you want to discuss? Any other person related to research? irrespective of the department. He asked, he is from the Department of Economics. He asked a question. Okay, so like that, any person who wants to raise, who wants to pose some questions related to research and research design, research methodology, and so on. Any other person? It's a kind of interactive. Yeah.
Hello, sir. I'm Kasturi from Department of English.
Yes.
So right now I'm pursuing my research PhD in English literature. Sir, I just wanted to ask questions on behalf of all the research scholars.
Okay.
Like while doing our research work, sir, many a times things become very monotonous and we
Yeah.
don't feel like working. We get into mental pressure, and this journey sometimes doesn't seem that soothing. So how to tackle with all these problems?
Actually, this research, actually, in those days, I tell you one thing. In those days, in the sense, 20 or 25 years ago, the research was taken out of the researcher's interest. Okay, so there was no compulsion to complete their PhD and so on. But in today's scenario, people are compelled, and they are forced to do their PhD for the sake of getting a job, first of all. So the job pressure is taking place in researchers' mind first. This is the first thing. But what I tell you, monotonous, as you explained beautifully, that the research is introduction, and then plan of study, then you find chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and conclusion. That's all. This is the research, and this is the what should I say, the map of the research nowadays. But what I tell you, even if you belong to the Department of English, you can use Excel sheet as a main tool, as a main research tool to complete your PhD. You can go in for Excel, or else you can, what should I say, your research should be something different. You can give the diagram also, the character diagram also, and then what should I say, the words analysis in a novel, how the words are used in a particular novel, whether it relates to the emotion or cognitive power, or else societal concern, and so on. So these things can be studied as a novel one. But when you do your, actually, why people are not having the interest, why people are losing their interest, which means the topic is selected by the guide. The topic is selected by the research supervisor, but the topic must be selected by the research student, the researcher. Only then this research is fruitful. So they will have interest in doing the research. So the pressure takes place, it is because if we are not able to understand a particular concept, automatically the pressure will come to us. There is no doubt at all. But till you complete the understanding process, till you understand the particular concept, you need to stick on to it. And then you have to move after completing your understanding. When you do like this, when you take the practice of this kind, you will not have tension and pressure. Tension and pressure will come from your own colleagues, fellow mates, and friends, and society. A society, I mean your family members. The society, which means your colleagues. The society, which means your research guide, because he has to complete one more ward. You need to complete your PhD thesis, but it is not that kind of research. The research must be on your own interest. The interest must lead to the development or contribution to the society. That's why in the conclusion part, What is your contribution to the society? In every PhD Viva Voce examination, the external examiner would ask this question. It has become a cliche right now. What is your contribution to the society, like that? But you need to explain what is your contribution to the society, and through the novel which you are going to. That's why you should not do literature as a literature. Literature must be evaluated by psychology. Literature must be evaluated by cognitive domain. Literature must be evaluated by medicine. Literature must be evaluated by sociology. Literature must be evaluated by economics. Okay, economics there. Economics is also there in literature. Say, for example, the Marxian thought, the Marxian ideology that comes from the economics. Okay, that comes from the Marxian ideology, that comes from the economics, the socio-economic condition. So literature should not be evaluated by literature. Literature must be evaluated, must be what should I say, embraced by other fields. Only then your thesis will be fruitful to the society. You can give your own contribution to the development of the society, either of the way. So this is what I tell you that. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Actually, I'm asking one question on behalf of all research scholars who are already.
Yeah.
doing this
Very
sort
good,
of job. Actually,
good,
this
very
is very difficult for us to visit any library physically. So today
Okay.
we have the facility of online library and all that. I
Yeah.
tried to access to some online libraries and online sources, but thing is that today basically all websites look for accounts and all that. So
Yeah.
really, I'm not very successful in that. So just like some ways to connect with some online library who provide free services and all that, so that we can have access to more books, more sources.
See, for more books and all, I would like to suggest one thing. PDF Drive. There is a website called PDF Drive. If you type that PDF Drive, you find lakhs and lakhs of books free. You can download any number of books. Unlimited books you can download. PDF Drive. So some costly books, some newly published books, and everything is available. You need not to go to the online library or else any other physical library and so on. Just you go to the Google and you just type that PDF Drive. You find a number of books, numbering about lakhs and lakhs of books, irrespective of the department. For any department you find, even if you are not able to make a hot water, you find that how to make a hot water in the PDF Drive. You find a number of books on that. Okay, so that's why you can go in for. And then ZLib, ZLIB. Okay, ZLIB. This is the mobile phone app, and there will be a kind of restriction, but it will give you some precise and concise books. Precise and concise, I use particularly these two words, precise and concise books, which you search for, which you type for. Okay, so ZLib, ZLIB. ZLib, it can be used in your mobile phone or else in the Google. So you need not to worry about the online library or else the physical library. I'm not able to get to the physical library and so on. But you just type that PDF Drive, and then you can access lakhs and lakhs of books which are more relevant to you. Because I have the habit of doing the PDF Drive, and I have downloaded number of books on reading that. I have published a book also with the proper references.
Okay, thank you, sir. And I also fully agree to the statement that you made earlier that today most of the researchers do research work on the topic selected by the guides, and that becomes really a very big problem. And
Yeah.
really, a
That's the
researcher must
pathetic.
choose.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
yes,
is the
yes.
pathetic condition of research today. So the researcher must do the research on their own. If they are given liberty to do their research on their own, they are having interest. At the same time, they will not feel boredom on their doing research work. But some guide research supervisors, they are specialized in only one particular area. But I tell you, my dear friends, today, earlier there was only one stream, and after that there was evolution. That evolution took place interdisciplinary. After that evolution, we have transdisciplinary. Transdisciplinary that deals with three different areas in today's scenario. Say, for example, chemistry cannot function without getting into medicine. Okay, chemistry will not function without getting into botany. Botany will not function alone without getting into chemistry. So every department is interlinked. This is the first point that you must understand. Even if it is literature, literature is related to medicine. I tell you that. That's why we have a medical humanity. And then literature is related to digital humanity. We have another field called digital humanity, medical humanity. There are a number of things. So I tell you, if you are doing research, your research must be validated by the other fields or interdependence of the other fields. Only then your thesis will be something useful to the society. Otherwise, your thesis will become null and void. What you are going to say if you do your research in novel or drama, what you are going to say? Just tell me that what you are going to say. This is the tragedy, that is the comedy, that is the tragic comedy. Okay, everything is there. What you are going to do? What is your contribution to the study of research? Nothing else. So that's why I tell you, you take a kind of spark. That spark is nothing but the ideology. That ideology should be ideated with the ideation of the other departments, the interdisciplinary or transdisciplinary. Only then your research becomes valid. Yes, next question.
Sir, I'm Pinky here, and I'm from a literature background. So you
Yes,
feel that every research topic should be socially relevant?
definitely. Art is not for art's sake. Art is for the society's sake.
Okay. So as a literature, being in the literature field, I would like to ask you, how do you zero in on that research topic? You know how this literature is so vast, English literature. So how do you zero in on that topic? And you have varied interests in drama, poetry, everything. So how can you just mention a few guidelines, to zero in on that research topic?
Actually, you are talking about how to concentrate on the literary field. That's why you are using that phrase called zero in on. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, zero in on. Okay, that is a concentrate. The trifocalizing. That means you are talking about the trifocalizing, particular topic and a particular ideology. Say, for example, I tell you in literature. Have you read Othello?
Yes.
Okay. What is the tragic flaw in Othello?
Tragic flaw. He comes into. He's easily influenced by others' opinion.
Okay,
People.
others'
Yeah.
opinion. In any other tragic flaw? Any other tragic flaw?
And he is a very jealous man, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
jealous. Yeah, jealous. Yeah, jealous man. Why jealousy takes place?
Because his
At the
wife is
same
very beautiful,
time,
Desdemona.
at the same, yeah, Desdemona,
Yeah.
very good, very good. Yeah, at the same time, what I will tell you, Othello is suspecting his wife, first of all, with the jealousy. Okay, with jealousy, he is suspecting his wife. If a person who suspects somebody else, it is because of the problem that takes place in our bile, B-I-L-E, bile.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, in our bile, the secretion of bile.
Hmm.
If the secretion of bile is decreasing or increasing, the automatically the person will suspect anybody else. So what I tell you, this is what
Hmm.
we call that physiognomy.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what we call physiognomy. Physiognomy is a kind of a study that is based on the inner organs secretion and how the inner organs secretion comes outwardly. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
in the concept of emotion or in the concept of feeling and so on. Say, for example, there is a, term called what I mean, Othello syndrome. Othello syndrome. If a person who is suspecting his wife all the time, he is
Okay.
suffering from Othello syndrome. That Othello syndrome is a reference in a psychiatry book, I tell you today.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
psychiatry is also there in literature. At the same time, this man, King Lear, he is suffering from age-related issues. That's why he is not able to find out who is the real daughter and who is giving real love towards him. So
Hmm.
this is what we call that gerontology. Gerontology is a scientific study about the age-related issues.
Age-related issues. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that the gerontology can be applied in literature. So literature becomes a science. So
Okay.
change that mind that literature is simply you are dealing with in the words, but you are not dealing with the words, but
Hmm.
words are coming from your mind, brain. Okay, the brain is
Okay.
situated and brain is stimulated by the society. The
Hmm.
society is conflated by so many aspects. Yeah, this is what I
Yeah.
tell you.
Okay.
Yeah,
So this interdisciplinary research is the in thing now.
very good. That has to be done. That's why
Okay.
still we find a number of medicines for the diseases.
Hmm.
That's why I tell you that.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other question?
Dear participants, if you have any questions, you can ask.
Yeah, if you have any questions, definitely I can, or else you can type your questions on the chat box.
Actually, the chat box is not activated, sir. We cannot type any questions on the chat box.
Okay. Chat is not available at this time. Okay.
Sir,
I
it's an
can,
appeal that before the completion of your station, please, if you can give your mail ID.
okay. I mean, I'm not able to type the my mail ID here. The host can make me as a host, not a ghost.
The chat box is available now.
The chat box is available. Actually, we can have a discussion actually in a separate webinar, in a separate thing. We can have a discussion because we need to discuss a lot. Only then we come to know more things about your field of study and so on. I would like to give you my mail ID. Yeah, I have given you my mail ID as well as my contact number. If you have any questions related to any field, okay, related to any field, I'm ready to answer. And if the admin conducts any other webinar for only for the debate or discussion, it will be very, very useful for the
Sir, may I
researchers.
ask a question, sir?
Yes, yes, sir, yes,
Sir,
sir. Kamya Bharta
sir,
Sarkar. Yeah.
yes, sir. Sir, recently that UGC is going to implement one scheme that is called Professor in Practice.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So those who are not having PhD degree, but they are having industrial experience and a master degree, they also can do this Professor in Practice in contextual
Yeah,
basis. So
actually,
how whether you support these things, it will be good for our societal development, education system. What is your
actually,
opinion, sir?
yeah. What your question is? Okay, I understood. I understood. My professor, when I did my UG, PG, MPhil, and PhD in St. Joseph's College, Tiruchirappalli, where our former president Abdul Kalam studied, no. So when I was doing my PhD and other collegiate studies, my professor's degree was only just MA. They did not complete their SET or NET or SLET or postdoctoral fellowship or even PhD. But I am able to complete my PhD. I'm able to get my assistant professor on the merit basis in Tamil Nadu. I think I have answered.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So you are meaning that the quality the can come from
Wherever quality is there,
research.
we have to accept. Wherever quality, even if we
So you
find
are so you are believing that this will be good for our educational system. If this system is coming to our India, this professor in practice, it will be good for our educational system, sir.
you are putting me in trouble.
Your answer is supporting only, sir.
Okay. So it will be very actually if the forum is a kind of what should I say a discussion like this, it will be very useful. We can discuss a lot. So I request the admin to conduct one more session for discussion, the education discussion and research discussion related to research and so on. Yes, sir. Sir, admin, sir, can I? Yeah.
Thank you,
Sir,
sir. Thank you.
sir, one more thing, sir. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Sir, you have told that nowadays we have the job stress is giving the pressure to the research. It is only job stress or our societal
Yes, there are
stress, you
so
can tell.
many factors. There are so many factors, but the
Before,
primary factor
before
is job stress.
I think so. I think that if our family culture we can change the concept from the family, if you change these things, I think so that job stress will not be the reason.
Yeah, that's why I told
Maybe
you earlier. The
maybe our
family, the
parent want us to get a
complete
doctor or
PhD.
get a,
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's why I told you earlier itself. The
if a
family
childhood
members.
itself if the childhood itself the concept will be changing means that I don't think so student will do for only job stress.
Yes,
I
sir.
think
Yes, sir. I told you that it is not only for the job stress, but also the society. I told you in a single
our social
word, in a
structure
single.
should be changed, sir. Our social structure should be changed.
Yeah. Good opinion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for very insightful talk.
Thank you, sir.
Dear participants, now we are moving to third session.
I
Our
acknowledge
speaker
the
is
sir that
Dr.
I acknowledge the sir. This is excellent discussion, sir. You have opened up so many ways to discuss, sir. Really motivating your discussion, sir. Thank you so much for your enlightenment.
Thank you, Samya Bharta Sarkar. Thank you for your nice words.
I am also in Tamil Nadu. I am working in Tamil Nadu. You can meet also, sir, in our university. You can come one day and deliver some lecture.
Definitely. If you tell me that, I will be there.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Your conversation was very incisive and it was very
Sir,
penetrating.
can you show, sir? Can you show your that first slide? That is all details is there. Can I take a screenshot of that?
Yeah. The slide, the first one is, yeah, this one.